Hello everybody, Sutra back here with another video, and today we are going to have another episode of Woke World. And today it's a doozy, so let's get it.
POV, a Florida classroom.
That's a clip from a Florida teacher's classroom making white kids bow down to black classmates. If you didn't hear, the New York Post is reporting that Ethan Hooper, a sixth grade language teacher at Howard Middle School in Orlando, Florida, exploited his own students as political props and then posted it on TikTok. He's since been suspended. The good news is that the district superintendent cited, "This is not free speech, it is the exploitation of our students and will not be tolerated." Not exaggerating when we say that activism is taking the place of education. Teach your kids knowledge because most schools aren't.
Okay, so the first thing I have to say about this is that if this was about with any other race, this would be totally not okay. When you consider the fact that they're literally on their knees hailing, no race should be doing that to any other race. And I just feel like it's highly irresponsible of the teacher to kind of instill this mindset in such a young group of kids. Let's continue.
Your kid came to you tomorrow and said, "Hey, you know what, Mom? I think
skip puberty.
I would not. How about I think that I'm a girl.
And I want to skip
I want
puberty.
to be a girl and I don't want to be a boy. What are you gonna do? You gonna let them go through puberty? It's the child's like. If that's what they're telling you as a parent, I'm gonna let my child. I don't have kids, so I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
It is tough. It is tough. As a parent, it is tough because I'm a single mom, so it's harder on me. You know what I'm saying? But you can't. I'm sorry. You came in this world a certain way. You know what I'm saying? If you want to dress
You came in this
a
world,
different
yeah.
way, cool. But as long as you're in my household, and I firmly believe like how you are is how you're meant to be in this world. You're beautiful how you are. If you feel uncomfortable, there's psychiatrists, there's other ways to go about it.
I totally agree with what this mom is saying. I do believe that if you came into this world a particular way and that's how it's meant to be, not to shame any of the people that feel like, they're trans or they feel like they're, a woman trapped in a man's body. I'm not discrediting those people or invalidating them. However, if it was my child, I feel like I would probably have the same approach as this mother's going with, especially at a young age. Like how the other woman, the lesbian woman, is saying, well, they want to stop puberty. Puberty is a rite of passage, and no puberty for anybody is a comfortable experience. I mean, it was for me when I became an adolescent, an adolescent. I just wish that some people would just leave it up to the parents and stop inserting themselves in other people's households and in other people's child's lives in certain states. We're at the point where the state will come into your home, take your kid if you're not affirming their gender. That is insane. Yeah, it's just crazy that we've come to this point. A lot of these people have identity issues and they're not really sure how they fit into the world, and I feel like the woke cult has gladly taken these vulnerable people in, which that's how I see a lot of these young people going into this. They're young and vulnerable and they don't know where to fit in, and I think that's really sad. Not that none of those people are actually happy in their transition. I think some people do find peace, some people do find happiness, but the fact is that when people do deal with really debilitating dysphoria, they don't really know where to turn. And then, of course, when they actually turn to the medical industry, it's so rigged to set you up on pharmaceuticals and to set you up on a lifeline of coming to the doctor and, getting sexually castrated. It's so sad. And yeah, I could go on a whole tangent about that, but let's continue.
When you're so woke, you bring back segregation. Harvard will host its first ever black-only graduation ceremony. This is the level of wokeness that we are at, and that's real. They did that. Harvard did that. Many other colleges as well. That is the definition of segregation, and it's being brought back voluntarily. That's being woke, guys. Unity, peace, healing, love. It makes sense.
I almost have no words for this. It's almost as if we're right back where we started, except it's the other way around. I thought the whole point of having inclusivity and having, a fight to racism, this isn't it. Having a black-only graduation? That's crazy. Whoever's idea that was, I don't know where they thought they were going with that, but not a good look. It's not a good look, and I feel like it's only creating a more divide between the people, and I just don't like it.
Support reparations. Why not?
Not everybody suffered equally. When you go into slavery, it's much more complex than white people were the oppressors and black people were the victims. If you dissect it, you will find there were about 3,700 free blacks who owned 12,000 slaves, black slaves. The question is, do the descendants of those free blacks who owned black slaves, do they pay? Blacks really benefited more the first 100 years after slavery than we have in the last 50 years. I was born in 1937 during the Depression. Everyone in my small, low-income black community, 98% of the households had a man and a woman raising children. Elderly people could walk safely in that community without fear of being assaulted by their grandchildren. Never heard of fire during that time. Never heard of a child being shot in the clip. But there are 50 children today who have been shot and killed in our cities. We've got to look beyond saying that every solution has to have a winner and a loser, that blacks can only benefit if whites lose. We have to be defined more than just victims of oppression. When whites were at their worst, blacks are at their best.
I really like that clip, and I really appreciate what this man is saying. This old man comes in and basically lets them in on the truth and lets them in on what the real history is and what the real problem is. And the real problem is not the white man. It's themselves. And I know for some people that's hard to hear, but sometimes people need to hear the truth. This is really what woke should be about. If the real term of woke, it should be about learning the facts, trying to break the system, the cycle, whatever. It's just a shame that these people who call themselves woke couldn't be more asleep. That's just my take on it.
Finger down, liberal edition. Put a finger down if you think kids deserve to go to school without fear of being shot at. Put a finger down if you think women know what's best for their bodies and you should mind your own business. Put a finger down if you think immigrants deserve human rights. Put a finger down if you think the police shouldn't be shooting at people that aren't shooting at them. Put a finger down if you believe freedom of speech applies to all religions and not just Christianity. Put a finger down if you believe Black Lives Matter. Put a finger down if you believe that the LGBTQ community shouldn't fear losing their jobs over their identity. Put a finger down if you think that prisoners shouldn't be forced into slave labor for mass corporations. Put a finger down if you believe in climate change because scientists have evidence that it's real. Put a finger down if you believe that people shouldn't be dying of hunger while there are billionaires in the world. Oh, did I say liberal? Because I meant decent human being.
I have a lot to say about this video because some of the things that she said in there is not really a liberal thing or a Republican thing. I just feel like some of the things that she says needs more added context. For instance, people shouldn't be fired over their identity. I'm going to tell you right now, it is hard to work with people that identify as they, them, or, people don't owe you your pronoun that you want to be called. The whole point of a pronoun is for other people to use. I feel like a lot of the times I see people complaining about being called a sir or a he, him. I feel like in those cases, you should work harder in your transition then. I feel like the whole point of transitioning and the whole point of getting to that pinnacle, people don't have to guess. And I just feel like a lot of people, if they see pronouns on their resume, they're automatically going to think they're going to be a handful, they're going to be hard to work with. So it's more than just you shouldn't be discriminated because of your identity. Another thing that she says, put a finger down if you think that kids should be able to go to school without being shot at. And I feel like this is another big one because, of course, kids should never have to go to school and think about getting shot up. But this begs into the question again, is it really about the guns or is it about the mental health of our youth? And another thing, the parenting that's going on. Sometimes it's not always about gun control, and sometimes it's bigger than that. And I do believe that kids should go to school safely. The last thing I'll touch on is the climate change one. I do think that in a sense climate change is real, but I think the reason is much simpler than what the libs are making it out to be. The sun is getting hotter, and that's a natural thing that's going to happen over the course of our sun's life. I also seen on an article that the poles have actually not always been icy. So I just feel like the course of nature will take its turn. And honestly, with everything that's happening, like with the oil spills and what happened when that nuclear power plant blew up and all this, it was literally like right on the bay of the ocean. I'm sure that messed up stuff for a long time. As far as that stuff goes, yeah, I think that's atrocious and something needs to be done about it. I could go on about this for days, but I'll just end my rant there.
Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? It is okay to be white.
No, that's not okay. It's terrible to be white. Who wants to be white? That's awful.
Why is it not okay to be white?
Y'all have done too much. I would rather people. Yeah, as a whole.
Too much good or too much bad?
Too much bad.
What should white people do about that?
Try not to be white.
So you just don't like white people as a whole?
No. Yeah, I am racist.
Are you serious? Or
100%.
I'll just let that one speak for itself.
Chansley was sentenced to nearly 4 years in prison, far more time than many violent criminals now receive. What did Jacob Chansley do to receive this punishment? To this day, there is dispute over how Chansley got into the Capitol building, but according to our review of the internal surveillance video, it is very clear what happened once he got inside. Virtually every moment of his time inside the Capitol was caught on tape. The tapes show the Capitol Police never stopped Jacob Chansley. They helped him. They acted as his tour guides. Here's video of Chansley in the Senate chamber. Capitol Police officers take him to multiple entrances and even try to open locked doors for him. We counted at least 9 officers who were within touching distance of unarmed Jacob Chansley. Not one of them even tried to slow him down. Chansley understood that Capitol Police were his allies. Video shows him giving thanks for them in a prayer on the floor of the Senate.
Shoot him. Shoot him.
Shoot him. Shoot him. It makes you wonder, who are the violent extremists here? Not Jacob Chansley. And the video proves that, but you would never have known from the media coverage.
That is insane. I feel like when Tucker Carlson came out with this news, it was huge. I just knew right from the start that something wasn't right with this whole day. I just had this gut feeling that something just wasn't right. But that whole day is just very, very weird. And I'll just let the footage speak for itself there.
Wokeness is a virus. It's infectious. It destroys your brain.
The wokeness is very potent.
This woke mindset virus.
The wokeness, this is all we should be talking about.
The woke monster is here, and it's coming for everything.
The American Medical Association has gone woke.
Professional sports have gone fully woke.
American Boy Scouts are the next to go woke.
Walmart is going woke.
M&M's going woke.
Minnie Bell's going woke. Now the Army is going woke.
Plus, guess who's going woke? The Muppets.
And finally, your autocorrect, now going woke.
Wokeism.
Wokeification.
Wokify.
The hyper woke. Uber woke.
The ultra woke.
The wokerati.
The wokers.
The woke folk.
The woketopians. Those wokesters.
Wokeaholics.
Wokeristas.
The, wokey woke. Woke.
Super wokeness.
They're all extreme. They've all been infected by the woke virus.
Woke critics on Rotten Tomatoes.
Woke lady superheroes.
Woke celebrities.
Woke universities.
Woke indoctrination.
Woke corporations.
Woke economics.
Woke nonprofits.
Woke education.
Woke generation.
Woke journalists.
Woke scientists.
Woke Democrats.
Woke Republicans. Woke millionaires. Woke billionaires.
Woke capitalism.
They are suffering from an incurable brain disease called wokeness.
The woke thing is a parasite.
Woke
cancer, rapid onset woke dementia.
This is what happens when you are so woke that your brain just falls out of your head.
If masks protected you from a woke mind virus, would you wear a mask?
If it wasn't for the woke, we would have no content. Woke people.
All right, guys, that is the video. That's what I got for you today. Hopefully you liked it. Please subscribe. It really helps me out, and I'll see you next time.